G'day, that's Slot Car Guy here and welcome back to another slot car review, and today it is SRC's turn with the beautiful Peugeot 205. This thing is incredible, so stick around and let's have a look what makes SRC's Peugeot 205 go. So welcome back to the slot car review, and yes, it is SRC's turn with the beautiful Chrono version of their Peugeot 205. But before I get into the review, if you do like what you see from SRC, make sure you check out their website and or your local seller who stocks their cars, because these do sell out very quick and they are limited run. And talking about limited run, I have car number 23 out of 315 pieces of this car that will be made, so they do go very quick. And we are talking about the Peugeot Evo 2 Chrono Sabi Tour de Corsa car number 5, and I did say it's a Chrono edition, which we'll get into in a tick, but take a look at that. And yes, we are in a crystal case. I do like their crystal cases, the display cases, because I also do a crystal see-through bottom as well, which is a little bit different from your normal stands. Very, very nice looking display case. Turn around the back, and then we've got some information, of course, their website and some more information about what you've received. And then underneath, if I flip it upside down, you'll see a little baggie, and that has got some spare parts containing 2 new front splitters, so if you do lose them in the race, and an aerial. So really cool. So let's get stuck into it. Of course, a full teardown. I'll explain what the Chrono is when I'm doing the teardown. We'll use SRC's UMS device to test the magnetic downforce of this motor. We'll weigh the car, then we'll hit my new layout, which I'm a little bit nervous. So let me know what you think in the comments. Have I done the right changes? Do we like this setup? But of course, I'm always changing the layout. But I think I'm happy with this one. So let's get stuck into it. SRC's Peugeot 205. Let's get into the teardown and have a chat about the Chrono series. So before we take a closer look at this beautiful SRC Chrono edition of the Peugeot 205, I thought I'd show you what comes in that little baggie. So let's have a quick look. And we've got the 2 white splitters and the black aerial. And of course, I'm a stickler for how these cars are presented and held down, and SRC uses this nice little plastic screw piece to hold it on to this beautiful crystal clear base. Now, we're normally used to black bases or maybe cardboard boxes, but I think this is worth a look at. They've got a nice frosted finish on top and the nice clear sides. That makes a big difference when you're displaying the car. It looks very professional, it looks very nice. Well done, SRC. I think that looks incredible and worth a mention. Now, here we are, the star of the show. This is the Chrono series compared to the original series. Now, quick breakdown of what the Chrono series is, and I'll quickly see if I can show you on this car. Now, through the rear, you're probably thinking that's a lot of detail there, Trav, but that is almost a one-piece engine bay. On the original series, they may have individual components that they've built up to make the engine itself. You may get some mud flaps, some finishings with photo etching on the rear. The figures are sometimes a full-size figure. These guys are a half-size figure with a removable head times 2. There's 2 in there. So there's a couple of slight differences on detail. When it comes to performance, they're the same, exactly the same. But I don't think this is watered down on detail at all, because this is quite good on any standard. So let's have a quick look at the livery itself. Beautiful looking Peugeot. I'm a big fan of the rally series. I'm an 80s guy. I love this stuff. But that looks incredible. The finishes is really well done. We have 2 half-size figures in there hanging on for dear life. We've got the note reader and then we've got the driver. So let's start on his side. Some nice bit of let's call that grilling on the side. It's not active aero, but it looks very, very nice. Stickers on the side of the car I like, or decaling. Sorry, I'm not the professional when it comes to what the finish is. Dave Kennedy is definitely the man picking out what these are. Are they decals, prints, stickers? So I won't use any technical terms. Around to the front, beautiful looking slot car. Take a look at that. Look at the finish on that bonnet. Beautiful. I'll flip it upside down. Let's have a look in that massive aero intake, and it's active. As you can see, a beautiful big cutout, and I'll see if I can zoom in on that. Beautiful big cutout. Nice windscreen wipers. I just want to see, there's a bit of meshing in there. I'm going to see if I can get that on the camera. There is a bit of meshing in there, as you can see. And I'm telling you, this is incredible finish for a race car. Around to the passenger side, which is almost identical to the driver's side, minus the sticker on the window. Obviously, that's probably how they had it in the rally itself. Onto the roof, beautiful looking roof. That's where I think you've got the hole on top where you'll put your aerial. Really nice finish, really, really nice finish. Nice little cutout here too at the rear. I'll see if I can zoom in on that. Beautiful cutout. It's just immaculate finish. Around to the rear, this is where it gets exciting. Look at the size of that rear roof spoiler. Incredible. Now the motor itself, or the engine compartment, I'll see if we can get in there, but it's going to be very hard because of the glare. But there's a massive turbo in there. You can paint these up because inside is silver, and you can finish it off how you like. And then we'll finish with the rims. Now let's flip it upside down. Nice blue base, of course, another different color that you wouldn't normally see. And this is a four-wheel drive driven car. And as you can see right now, we've got an inline motor, which we'll talk about that in a second. So there we go. Beautiful finished car. Let's do the teardown and have a look at how this thing moves. Then we'll test the motor and then hit the track. So I've completed the teardown. Very simple to do, but it's quite a unique design. There is two screws that hold the car together, and I'll show you where they are located. The first main screw is behind the guide. As you can see, that hole there is your main screw that holds the shell and chassis. Then if we move around to the rear, you'll see this little C cutout in the rear, right there. That then marries up with the shell, and I'll show you how that works. So here's the shell, this is the rear of the shell, and there is a screw right there which is adjustable in and out, and that just literally clips in, and then you screw the front of the car in. Very simple to do, very quick design. I like that. Now let's have a look inside the shell itself. Of course, no active lights, but there is a little bit of design going on. A nice bit of etch work or bit of meshing at the front. Now this is the Chrono series. They do an original series. One of the major differences is this cockpit insert. Now that's your cockpit and engine together. On the original, there will be a plastic insert with a full built motor, like a plastic model kit that you would buy that sits inside there, which is I don't know what the weight difference is, but of course it's more detailed than what we're seeing here. So this is the race ready version. Very nice looking shell, SRC executed beautifully. Now let's move on to the chassis. And if you like blue, you're in for a treat, because look at that. And I absolutely love the blue color. Now, this is quite unique. Again, we've got a four-wheel drive system. We'll start with the drive system, and it's driven from the rear, but it is also driven by a belt to the front. As you can see, I'm holding the belt. So driven from the rear, which also spins the front. Now, let's talk about the front end first. We've got a spring-loaded guide, and we've got spring-loaded shocks in the front. Now, SRC and Spain, they love their rally racing. And if you haven't seen how they set up one of their races, check out YouTube, and you'll see why they've got a lot of spring-loaded stuff in this car, because they do have a lot of bumps and crevices on their rally tracks. So we're going down from the guide. Beautiful wire management here. I absolutely think that looks incredible. I think when a company does that, you can see they're taking care in how their cars are finished. Moving down to the inline M3 SRC motor. Yes, SRC do make their own motors, and this is their M3, which is 17,000 RPM, running at 12 volts, and it's married up beautifully with the pinion and gearing at the rear, 9 and 27 tooth. And check out their website, because they do have other motors, and I think that's quite incredible that SRC make their own parts and components. Let's have a look at the rear here. Beautifully finished. Now, the good thing I liked about it, when I did take it out of the box, it was already pre-greased. So I think that's quite cool. And of course, we've got some spring-loaded shockies at the rear as well. Now, there is no magnets on this car, but they do run a weighted system that you can purchase the weights from the SRC website. And of course, these are the locations here. There's two prongs, and you can put weights in this car if you want to weigh it down. If you want to run magnets, nothing's stopping you. Of course, you can put your own magnets in. And is it digital ready? I'd say no. There is a hole here which might, I think that's where the screw goes. But if you want to try and mimic that into some kind of digital setup, that's up to you, but it's not digital ready. Now let's talk about the aluminium rims and their rubber tires. And again, it's a full-blown car. You're getting aluminium rims and SRC's own version of their rubber tires. Now, I'll let you decide if you like the tires or not, because they will perform on different surfaces, wood, plastic, etc., and how you set them up. Flip it upside down, and of course, there's the underside of this beautiful blue chassis. So there you have it. Really well executed by SRC. So let's use the UMS device by SRC and measure the magnetic downforce of this car. We'll weigh the car, and then we'll hit my new layout. Alrighty, so I've set up SRC's UMS device. I've zeroed out the scales. It's ready to go. So let's see what the maximum magnetic downforce of this car is. I'll try and find the happy center. And we are looking at 6.99 to 7 grams of magnetic downforce. So there you go. Now let's weigh the car and hit the track. Alrighty, so I've zeroed out the scales. The car is being completely put back together with all its screws. Let's find out how heavy it is. And we are looking at 83 grams. So now let's hit the track and see how my new layout handles this car. So how did the SRC's Chrono Peugeot 205 run around my new layout? Well, I've got an official time and an unofficial time. Let's go with the official time, 5 clean laps. The quickest lap is the official quickest lap I can post. That's the rules, and I got an 11.16, which I think was pretty good. Unofficial, the quickest lap I could get without clean 5 laps was a 10.95. So it does have a lot more in it, but the official fastest time I can post is 11.16 because that is the rules. These things are a lot of fun, and I tell you what, I will get my hands on some weights and try this again with some weights in the car to see if that makes any difference. So I will not run magnets in this car. It'll be the weighted system only. That was a lot of fun. Do I recommend them? Of course I do. This will perform different on different layouts, whether it's plastic, tracked by Carrera, Scalatric, or Ninco, or Polycar, and will perform different again on wood. So these cars do need some setup, but I tell you what, that was a lot of fun, and yes, I do recommend them. And if you haven't had an SRC car, these are a great start, but they are limited run, so make sure you jump on that. Now, I did ask any feedback about my new layout. Please let me know in the comments. I actually don't mind it. I think it runs really well. It's quite flowy and it will suit most cars. Yes, there's some raw finishes that need to be touched up, but there was a lot of fun. So I guess the next question is, should I do a full review on the Ford Capri that SR sent and made for me, the At That Slot Car Guy channel car? Should I put that around the track and do a full teardown, full hot lap, and risk smashing it? Let me know in the comments. I think I will, but let me know in the comments. But as always, thank you for your support. At That Slot Car Guy on Instagram and YouTube. Be safe. Take care. Ciao.
Lap 1, 11.71 seconds. Lap 2, 10.95 seconds.